New York City, the land of opportunity, the dream of the middle class. A place where hard work once meant a stable life and access to the world's most modern and vibrant city. But is that dream still alive? Take a look around. A bottle of water costs $2.49. A gallon of milk? $10. A simple bag of cereal has gone up by 26%. And eggs? If you're lucky enough to find them on the shelf, they skyrocketed in price. And what about housing? $500,000 for a studio. Rent? A staggering $4,500 a month. These aren't just numbers anymore, they're the brutal reality for millions of New Yorkers. This city, once a symbol of prosperity, is now driving out the very people who made it thrive. Soaring costs, crushing rents, and an economy on the brink of collapse are forcing the middle class to rethink their place in the city. What happened? How did New York go from the heart of the American dream to a place where even the middle class can barely survive? And most importantly, can New York be saved? Let's find out. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. New York City's infrastructure is crumbling under the weight of mismanagement, lack of investment, and an ever-growing population. Roads are full of potholes, bridges require urgent repairs, and water supply systems are aging. Despite the city collecting billions in taxes every year, the improvements seem minimal. Where does all this money go? Many residents feel that their hard-earned tax dollars are wasted on inefficient government projects, bureaucratic red tape, and policies that do little to ease the struggles of the middle class. Even public services that should be easily accessible, such as healthcare and education, are becoming increasingly difficult for the middle class to afford. The cost of medical care in New York is one of the highest in the nation, with an average doctor's visit costing over $200 if you don't have insurance. And even with insurance, deductibles and co-pays make proper healthcare a financial burden. Education isn't much better. While New York has some of the best universities in the world, tuition costs are skyrocketing. A middle-class family struggling with rent, taxes, and basic expenses can hardly afford to send their children to a good school without drowning in student debt. Public schools, which should be an alternative, suffer from underfunding, overcrowding, and declining quality, making private schooling the only viable option for those who can afford it. With every aspect of life becoming a financial struggle, many middle-class families are asking the same question: is it time to leave New York? The great middle-class exodus. It's no surprise that more and more New Yorkers are packing up and leaving. The cost of living crisis, housing shortages, and poor infrastructure have led to what experts call the great middle-class exodus. Between 2020 and 2023, over 500,000 residents left the state, a trend that continues to accelerate. Where are they going? States like Florida, Texas, and North Carolina are becoming top choices. These states offer lower taxes, cheaper housing, and a more affordable lifestyle. Many families find that they can buy a spacious home for the price of a cramped New York studio apartment. Others appreciate the lower property taxes and fewer financial burdens. But leaving New York isn't an easy decision. Many middle-class families have deep roots in the city. They grew up here, built their careers here, and raised their children here. For decades, New York was a place where people fought to get in, not to get out. Yet today, the opposite is happening. Can New York be saved? The million-dollar question remains. Is there hope for the middle class in New York? Can the city turn things around before it becomes a playground only for billionaires and the extremely poor? There are solutions, if the government is willing to act. Affordable housing initiatives must be taken seriously. Instead of catering to real estate tycoons, policies should focus on making rent and homeownership accessible to middle-class families. Stronger regulations on vacant properties could force landlords and corporations to either fill empty apartments or lower rental costs. Tax reforms could ease the financial burden on middle-class families while making the ultra-wealthy pay their fair share. Investment in public infrastructure, fixing roads, improving subways, and modernizing public services, would make the city more livable again. Some cities around the world, like Berlin and Amsterdam, have already implemented policies to prevent middle-class displacement. If New York follows suit, it could slow down the exodus and rebuild a city that is accessible to everyone, not just the wealthy elite. But the real question is, will the city's leaders take action? Or will New York continue down a path where only the rich can survive, while everyone else is forced to leave? One thing is certain, time is running out. What do you think? Is New York still worth living in, or is it becoming an impossible place for the middle class to survive? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.